three parts as discussed in the figure: operation code, mode, and operand. So when we write any program instructions, we use operation code, mode, and operand. So when we write code for performing different operations. So in the first section of the machine language instruction, we write the operation code, means whatever the operation we want to perform. Then in the second and third, we write whether we are going to include the data or the location of the data to perform a particular operation. And these all three parts, operation code, mode, and operand, are combined and make the instruction for the machine language. And machine level language are also known as a first generation language, as we have seen in the illustration of the growth of the programming language. Now we will discuss the advantages and disadvantages of machine language. So every language has some advantages and disadvantages. So what are the advantages of the machine language? So the first advantage of the machine language is that no translation is required. As we have discussed earlier, machine language is very closer to the native language of our computer system, that is binary. So in the machine language, we write the code directly into the binary codes. So we will not translate that code, because it is directly written in the binary format. So it is very helpful for us. Now the second point is it takes less execution time, as no translation is required and the code is written in the itself binary language. So it takes the less execution time and gives us the output in a very short duration. Now these are the advantages of machine level language, but it has disadvantages also. So what are the disadvantages? So first disadvantage of machine language is difficult to use, because all the operation codes and instructions are written using the binary language sequence. So it is difficult for anyone to write or remember such codes and write a program. Now the next disadvantage is a machine dependent. So this machine language program are written using the particular language applicable to that particular machine only. So once we have written one program for particular machine, it is not executable on another machine, because every machine has different processor and every processor has different architecture. So when we want to execute the same program on a different machine, then we have to write the same program once again in the for the different architecture using its own instruction code available for different processor. Now the next disadvantage of machine language is the error prone. So as we are going to write the instruction code in a binary language that is consisting of zeros and ones, so it is a more error prone. Means if we have missed a single bit or we have interchange the single bit, so the total meaning of the instruction will change and we will have the wrong output. Now the next disadvantage of machine language is difficult to debug and modify. So as we have discussed that in binary language we write the instructions in zeros and ones. So once we have written any low level language program, that is our machine language program, successfully, and if there is any error or we want to modify the same program, then it is very difficult for us to find out the error in our program, because we have to understand the whole code, and we have to find out where is the error. So it will take a lot time for us regarding the low level execution of program. Now we will discuss about the second category of the low level, that is an assembly level language. So earlier we are using zeros and ones in writing the instruction code. Now in assembly language code, we write letters and digits in place of binary digits, and we use the combination of letters and digits in our instruction code. So such instruction code consisting of letters and digits are known as mnemonic codes. So we will write assembly language program using such mnemonic codes. Programming using mnemonic code forms an assembly language program. If you see any example of assembly language program, so such program consists of different mnemonic codes. So such mnemonic codes are designed for writing a assembly language program. So assembly language programs are also known as a second generation language as compared to the first generation language, that is our machine language. Now one important thing about the assembly language is that each computer has its own assembly language, and it is dependent on the internal architecture of the processor. So as we have discussed earlier that every machine has a different processor, and for every processor we have different assembly language designed for particularly for that processor. So when we write any assembly language program, so it is dependent to the particular processor architecture, and if we want to write the same program for another processor, then we have to rewrite the same program for the another processor using the assembly language available for that processor. An assembly language program cannot be executed directly. So one important point regarding to the assembly language program, if we want to execute the assembly language program, then it is not possible to execute it directly. So one special software, and that is known as an assembler, is required to translate from the assembly language into the machine code. Here the figure illustrates the concept of the assembler. So assembler takes the assembly program as a source of input, and it translates the assembly language program into the object code of machine language program. So assembler works as a translator of the assembly language program into the machine language program. Now assembly language has also some advantages and disadvantages, so we will discuss it one by one. So writing a program is more convenient than machine language. First of all, we will discuss the advantages, and the first advantage of assembly language program is that it is more convenient to write a program as compared to the machine language. In machine language we use generally a binary codes which is written in ones and zeros, while in assembly language program we write the program using mnemonic codes. So the mnemonic codes makes our work convenient. The second point for our advantage is that it improves the readability of a program. When we compare the machine code and the assembly code, so in assembly code it has better readability compared to the machine code, because the machine code is written totally in ones and zeros, while mnemonics are used in assembly language, so it improves readability in such a manner. Now the disadvantage of machine assembly language is the machine dependent. As we have discussed earlier that each and every processor has its own assembly language program for its architecture. So assembly language is totally machine dependent. Now the second point in disadvantage is that programming is difficult and time consuming, as we have to remember the different mnemonic code for writing a program. So when we write any assembly language program, then we have, first of all, we have to study the mnemonics available for that particular processor, and then we have to write the program. So it is a very difficult and time consuming process. And the next disadvantage of assembly language program is that the programmer has to know all the logical structure of the computer. As assembly language is a machine dependent, then if the programmer wants to use that particular assembly language then the first of all the programmer has to know what is the logical structure of the computer, and then he has to study the particular assembly language program, and then the programmer can write any assembly language program. Now the third category of language is the high level language. So high level language is the language we use nowadays, because it is known as a high level language because whatever the program code available in the high level languages are totally in human readable format. So as we have discussed that high level language have instructions similar to our human languages. So whatever the instructions we use in our routine life, the similar instructions are available in the high level language. High level language have its own grammar, which makes our task of programming easy. One more functionality has been added to the high level language, that it can identify and correct errors easily. When we write any program, it is possible that there might be some errors in our program. So to sort out that errors and remove the errors, we first of all we have to identify and then we have to correct the error. So such facilities are available inside the high level language, and as compared to the previous levels, high level is more powerful compared to this point. Such facilities were not available in the earlier levels of programming language. Now what is the reason to design the high level language? Means when we are using a machine language or an assembly language program, so the time and the cost of creating such programs were quite high. So this has motivated us for the development of high level language, because we have designed the computer to work faster, and when we are using a machine language or an assembly language, so it varies a time and cost consuming. So we have developed high level languages. Now advantages and the disadvantages of high level languages. First we will discuss the advantages. So a high level languages has better readability. As we have discussed that high level language program code is written in a human readable format, and it has some sort of things that it is similar to our routine language. So it makes the readability of the program increases. Now the second point is the portability. So when we write any program in high level languages, so we can run the same program on any machine with little or no modification, and this feature is known as a portability. Now when we write a program, then our main purpose is to write the particular program which has wider acceptance. Means we can run our same program on the different machines with little or no modifications. So portability tells us that. Now the next advantage is easy debugging. So high level languages are designed in such a manner that we can debug our program very easily. Now and the next point in the advantage is the ease of software development. So high level language has some inbuilt functionalities which will provides ease of use in developing some softwares. Now we will discuss the disadvantage of high level language. So when we use the high level language, so it consumes time for translating a high level code into the machine code. We have written our program in high language code, and when we want to take output, then we have to translate it into the machine code. So it for this process will require some time. The next point is the generated code may be inefficient compared to the assembly program. So whatever the translated code from the high level language is may be inefficient compared to the assembly program we have written earlier. Now the compiler. So when we write any high level program, it is required to translate the high level program into the machine language program. So for translating a high level source program into a form of the machine language program, we require some special purpose software, that is one translator is required, and one such translator is our compiler. So compiler translates the source program into the object code of machine language, and the process of translating the source program into machine program is done by a software known as a compiler. So compiler takes the source code as input and produces the machine language code as output. The following figure illustrates that it takes the input and then it produces the machine